Hello, 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 and welcome to Let's Grow with Yo-Yo. I pray you all are having a blessed Tuesday. I hope everything is going well with you all. Today is today's topic is going to be very challenging because I know some people are not going to understand it, but that's okay. That's what Yo-Yo is here with you for. So before we get started, y'all come on in the room. Come on in the room. Let me see where you're coming from, viewing from. Talk to me tonight, y'all. Talk to me tonight. I want to see you. I want to see it. All right. Tonight, in a Did You Know in Black History, Alice H. Parker was born in New Jersey in 1895. Alice Parker graduated from Howard University in 1910. She is known for her patent for the gas furnace. In those times, people relied on burning coals to keep warm during the winter. During this time, Parker realized that burning coals was not enough to keep her and her family warm during the cold winters in New Jersey. And if anybody is from up north, know that it is really cold up there in the winter. The design that Parker created, an independently controlled burner unit that drew in cold air and conveyed to heat through an heat exchanger. This air was then fed into an individual duct to control the amount of heat in different areas. Parker received this patent in 1919. Let me tell y'all something. We black people be on it, honey. Do you hear me? We are in history. People don't know about it, but we are in history. That is Did You Know in Black History. Well, tonight, y'all, we are going to talk about something that is affecting the African American community, and it is called colorism. And I have a special guest tonight. His name, some of you may know, is Deacon Jasmine Copeland. Hey, Jazz!
Hey, what's up, Yomi?
How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful, actually.
That
I'm
is,
on the road, but I said I would not miss this.
yeah,
I
you,
can multitask.
huh?
I said I can multitask.
Well, thank God. Because some of us cannot do that. That ain't going to work. Not for the kid.
Oh Lord.
Tonight, we are talking about colorism. Do you know what colorism is, Jasmine?
Yes, I do know what colorism is.
Okay. Some people don't know what colorism is. So let me give you the definition of what colorism is. Colorism is a prejudice and discrimination against individual of a dark skin tone, typically among the same ethnic or racial group. Racism and colorism, they're kind of the same, but they're totally different. Do y'all understand that? Racism is usually like one ethnic group uh, discriminates against another ethnic group, usually a minority group per African American, Asians, Latinos, stuff like that. But colorism is actually within your same race. That is the change. So it all started back when we was back in slavery,
Yep.
right? Y'all know that it all started back in slavery. People don't want to say that, but it really started over there across the waters in Africa when we were being sold off to the slave masters. They would look at the skin tone, the hair texture, and all that, and we African people sold ourselves to the Europeans, thinking we would get more money, blah 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 blah. And then when we came over here and the slave owners got us and they raped our women, and that's where you get the softer hair, the lighter skin, and those lighter skin people, fair skin people with pretty hair, long, thick hair, silky skin, silky hair, they would stay in the house while the dark skin tone women and men with the nappier hair had to work in the cotton fields. What you laughing for, Jalen? What's so funny?
Because
It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous that we have this within our community. But So that started it, and as the years went by, it just gotten worse, right? I don't know about you, but I know for myself, um, it was hard growing up. I consider myself, I was the darker one out of all of my siblings. So, Jasmine,
Let's
did you
go.
see this growing up
What?
in your household or in school or something?
What?
What?
They call me lemon. They call me Lemonhead.
Well, that ain't got nothing to do with your life, though.
No, that does. That
Really?
comes with being yellow.
Okay.
Yes, I still. I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be because we're in this so-called sensitive era of society now.
Mm-hmm.
But shoot, I was born in 1980. Actually, my birthday is tomorrow. But
That's right. It
I
is.
fought. Yeah, I fought. I
Uh-huh.
do. I used to fight all the time because red this, yellow that, baby color poop. I've been called everything you can think of under the light skin origin. I
Mm-hmm.
have been, I couldn't be anything but black. I had to be, are you mixed with something? Or is your parents this? What is your parents? What you mixed with? Yeah, I mixed with my mom and dad. Why do I have to be a different color? I'm African American all day.
Right.
But you go through these things.
Mm-hmm.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So that means I'm right. I can't taste sweet, or I don't fit in the culture. So sometimes you go through identity issues.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, being that I grew up in a pro-black household, uh, Vanessa and Tommy won't having that. You're a white kid and stuff. Nah, but if you deal with black folks long enough in your life, like my aunts and
Uh-huh.
it was horrible with my because my dad's side of the family is the more darker
Uh-huh.
group. I was red, be this, that look. Yeah, I was a whole lot of different things, and I wasn't sure about it until I got to the point where I understood it was me. It wasn't going to change. I wished for a long time. I wish I was darker.
Well, let me tell you, being as though I am the darkest one out of my siblings. I remember like I felt it's like they catered to the lightest, to my sister and my brothers.
Whatever.
You know, that's what I thought. Look, this in my mind,
Yeah,
because
that's
because of the fact that I was darker skinned, and me being who I am. What are you doing?
nothing. I told you I'm still at work,
Oh,
so it's other truck
um,
drivers moving around me, and
oh,
when they do stuff close to my truck, I look like, "What you doing?"
oh.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
um, so even though I know that we were all treated somewhat equally, however, my mother sometimes called me the black sheep, or I was, the blackhead or whatever she wanted to call me. And so it felt uneasy. And even growing up, even though, I was a little fast, as they call it sometimes.
I want you to look at my face right now.
Shut up. Some guys used to didn't want to talk to me because of my skin complexion. They would want to talk to somebody lighter than me. And I'm like, why? And it felt like because of, well, one guy told me, I ain't gonna say his name, but one guy told me is that dark girls are only good for one thing.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, well, okay. I ain't talking to you no more. But that's just like, that's bad. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up, even though I think I'm beautiful, and I don't see
just on
why you
Tuesday.
think
You're
that's
beautiful on Tuesday. What's today?
Huh?
You beautiful on Tuesday. What's today?
Tuesday.
Daggone, you beautiful. We can go with that. But no, I thought about this all up in coming into the day.
Uh-huh.
hurt people, and our culture is wounded.
Yes.
I'm not even going to say it's uh, we understand the hurt people stuff, but our the black culture, the Pan African, whatever you want to call yourself, the darker
Yeah,
skin
right.
people is we're wounded from time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's and like I said, over the years, people don't know how to stamp out. Like we use the word nigga like it's crazy, and I'm like,
Oh God, I hate that word, but yes.
but I understand what people was. It's been so many different um outlooks of why the word is used.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you get the never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, all that stuff. You get
Right.
the derogatory that the Europeans and the white people wanted to break us down to our last compound, and but they spreaded it. I think American culture was the biggest divide and conquer. It was tested out in slavery.
Right.
If you divide them, they shook us up. They took us and put us in different and
Environments.
different
Because you had
different
the light
places.
skinned people in the AC.
Yeah,
They dressed nicer. They had their hair done. They
exactly.
even though they
But
were servants,
however,
they were treated better.
no, they wasn't. They wasn't treated better because if you look at history, they were closer to their oppressor. They was raped by their
That's
oppressor.
true. They were.
They don't. Everybody keeps saying they was inside the house, but I gotta sleep near this person. I got raised in that household where you was outside, where you at least got a break from them, but you didn't get a break from the oppression. It's been so many. There's so many different ways I looked at it, and I was like, would you rather get beat by your oppressor or raped by your oppressor?
Neither. I don't want to get
No,
neither.
no, but if you, the lesser two evils. But being that I came out light skinned, oh, master wanted your mama. What did that have to do with me? I didn't even
That's
ask
true.
for this.
You was what?
I ain't even asked for this. I made the best of my situation. But everything was resulted because if we look at America and you go from Virginia to West Virginia and you see these lines on the map and you say, oh, they state lines. Oh, they Americans, but they're not that different. They just do different things. But over in Africa, those are country lines.
Yeah.
Those are not the same as what we portray it. So it's a little different with the mindset when you shook up all those different Africans and put them in different plantations. Where it could have been at one point in time, two people that was at the same plantation was warring.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many different things of psychological warfare and psychological, and they attacked the mind. They broke people down.
They broke us basically. But then
Yeah,
they gave us that mentality that if you're dark skinned, you're no good. If you're light skinned, you're better. Or
but the light skin
in
came with the white people.
in our culture too. Now I'm starting to realize that it depends on the year. We might have the even years. The light skinned people are up. The odd years, the dark skinned people are up. So we switching.
Like
2021
right now, right?
is a dark skin. This got
Man,
dark.
if I heard one more time the light skinned guys went out in the 80s, I'm gonna have an issue.
Well, really, y'all didn't go out in the 80s. Because I mean, at one was it last year? Last year, it was a lot of things that I was seeing about how light skinned dudes dress, and y'all were the come up. Now this
Oh,
year,
you say y'all one more time. We trying to stop this
I
out.
light skinned people was
Hey,
the
hold on.
come up, and now this year, my complexion or darker is the come up. So it's like we don't have a. Why can't we just say we're all the come up, right? And like now, I went back to my natural hair. I don't get chemicals in my hair. I don't do anything like that. I want to wear my natural hair, and it's a shame. And that I was watching. I think it was Idris Alba. He said he didn't want to date a black woman at one time because he didn't like the natural stuff. right?
But
Even though
however,
you're from London and you, but
that's why. That's why. It's once again where we were brought and taught. So I don't care anything about. I don't like me personally. I like a natural woman. I don't care for too much makeup. I don't care for the eyelashes. I don't care for weed. If that's what you do to enhance yourself, go ahead and knock yourself out. But that's not what I want to see you as every day.
right.
My mother is just as clear as I am.
You said
But
clear.
yeah, but
Hold on for a second, Angie. I don't know why it's not playing. You might want to restart your computer because it's
hold on for like 1 second.
video.
I gotta shut my door. Hold on right quick.
Uh huh. So y'all, we just talking about colorism, and again, colorism is the discrimination, discrimination against individuals in a dark skin tone, typically among the same ethnic or racial group. So we are just talking about how it affects how we are affected in the African American community. It's really hard to distinguish and to see. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not playing. Um, we are, because he's considered light skin, fair skin, or whatever, and I'm considered dark, chocolate, what have you. And people do not usually take to the darker skin tone. People usually do not take to my natural hair. I have it braided now. I have a client, and she says she's 94 years old, y'all, and she's set in her ways, but she's the sweetest lady in the world. And when I go see her, she says, "You change your hair so much, I don't know who you are." But she said, "I like the nappy stuff." Now, first of all, my hair is really not nappy. But put your picture back on, Jasmine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
My hair is, she likes the nappy stuff, right? But my hair is not nappy. It's soft. It looks nappy because the little twist, the bond tune, all that stuff. And I was like, my hair's not nappy, ma'am. And she was like, well, I like that. Now, I went back natural because I didn't want all those chemicals in my hair, and my scalp has started getting real sensitive. So, but I grew to love my natural hair. Now, I do wear protective styles, and I will pop a wig on or get some weave on, but I don't feel like touching my natural hair. So, judge yourself, not me. Anywho, Jasmine, did he just put Jasmine? Is he still here? Oh, well, I guess he logged off again. We have, in our society, in our culture, we have a lot of people that, light skinned people were down dark skinned people, dark skinned people were down light skinned people. And it's getting out of control. We have so much division within the African American community that I feel like if we don't get this under control, we're not going to be, we can't get other people under control from dealing with us. Angie says, we think the lighter skinned people are shown favoritism during slavery, but what? But it's more like they were the master's child. That's true. They were. Light skinned people during slavery, they were raped. They were taught, even though they were raped and they were in the house, they were taught to discredit the dark skinned people. Now,
Yeah.
Jasmine, did you ever think that your color would be a problem within your own race?
Yes.
You did?
Because
Why?
I was born into it. Like it's just so many different things, and it's so many different issues within the Black culture.
Yes.
And a lot of things were because jealousies, generational teachings, curses, everything that you could possibly think of negatively
Mm-hmm.
was spewed into our culture.
It was.
And especially if you was born on this soil. It's just it's I didn't get comfortable with me till I was about 16 years old. Almost, yeah, 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get comfortable with my own skin. First of all, my name is Jasmine. Not only my name is Jasmine, I was born in 1980, where I just missed the pro-black era. I
Yeah.
mean, you got great people that are light skinned that were on the front lines of civil rights. Angela
Mm-hmm.
Davis, one of my favorites.
Right.
But why do I have to be so militant to prove that I'm a black person?
So you feel like you have to prove that you're African American?
Oh yeah, my younger. You remember me running around the streets when we was younger. I was a baby, but I was still. My mouth was reckless because I had to always defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got to you before you got to me, okay, so be it. But it grew out of the fact of being light skinned. It's just
That's funny that you say that because I feel like growing up, I had to defend myself more because I was darker skinned. I didn't have the smooth hair or the pretty eyes or the lighter skin. Um, I felt that I wasn't beautiful enough. And I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin until I was about 26, 27. And that took a long, and then I'm still learning, like, my skin is beautiful. I'm beautiful. There's nothing wrong with my nappy hair. Um, there's nothing wrong, with the color of my skin. There's nothing wrong with me. Anyway, but I feel like I have one of my daughters is really light skinned. Oops. One of my other daughters is my complexion. I have two beautiful daughters, and I treat them the same. And I taught them that don't look at the color of nobody's skin, look at the person's heart and personality.
the
And,
content of their character.
right.
But
But my youngest daughter, um, was bullied by people of her own race, saying she was ugly because she was dark skinned.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl, no, you are. But at one point she was like, you have to say that, mommy, because I'm your daughter.
Hey,
No,
I ain't gonna lie. I'm telling you right now. This is a little humor for me. I told any of my kids, if you was ugly, I was gonna tell you you need to be nice to everybody.
do.
I was not. I'm not for inflating people's ego. Hey,
Uh-huh.
look here. That is not your strong suit, so you need to do this. I was never going to tell a lie to my child because I knew the ugliness of our culture and this world.
Exactly.
So I was going to tell them this is what it is. But it's kind of hard to tell your child that when you see beauty in them because you as a person don't look at them as their color. You
Right.
look at them as the person that you birthed into this world. So all of my children are beautiful. And it's not even saying that they're beautiful because of skin tone.
Right.
They're beautiful just because they are who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get my paperwork. Hold on.
Okay. Yvette Hurdle says, I do. My white skin has and still does cause me issues with my brown brothers and sisters. And Brittany says, and that's been an issue. People don't believe you could be my mother. Well, I didn't believe I was your mother either. I still wanted a DNA test to make sure I was your mama. So, because I think you was Freeze and JP's. I think they just implanted you in me some kind of way, Brittany. That's what I think. No, I'm just playing. I'm joking. You are my child. I gave birth to you. So, but just because, just because you are you got to understand, we are a diverse culture. We are a diverse race. We have dark skin to the whitest white skin. And to me, that is beauty, right? But just because you're this color or that color doesn't, you can have an ugly personality and not be cute to me. Jasmine, you're frozen. Angeline says color doesn't define beauty because I've seen a lot of unattractive white, light, brown, and dark people. Yes, Angie, is a lot of dark skin and light skin and white people that are not attractive, and it just shouldn't be by the color of your skin. However, a lot of society believes that darker skin is not attractive. But now I'm starting like, what's her name? Rihanna came out with Fenty Beauty, and they have a wide range. I think it was like 50, 60 colors from different skin tones with different undertones, right? My skin tone is brown, but I have yellowish undertones. So that shows the diversity and beauty in our culture. And I feel that even though there's a lot of colorism in our culture, we still are beautiful. We are not, we need to learn to get out of that crab mentality. That crab mentality to where we're pulling each other down because I may not be this complexion, or my hair may not be this, or my I may not make this much. We are all beautiful in our own right. Now, I don't know what happened to Jasmine, but I talk to my daughters about like especially my youngest one. My oldest one, she my child. I don't know where she came from. She's real sensitive, and it took a lot to see my daughter hurt behind someone telling me that she wasn't beautiful because of her skin tone. It took a lot out of me to see my daughter cry because they said she's natural. She's been natural her whole entire life. She has never had a perm. So people telling her that her hair's nappy, she's not, that hurt me because as a mother, like Jasmine said, you see your children and you want to let them know, hey, you're beautiful regardless, you know. Your skin color, your hair doesn't define who you are. But to get a child to understand that when you have negativity from your own race, it's hurtful. You would think that we would build each other up instead of tearing each other down, but we are quick as a race to tear each other down. We are quick to, oh, you don't look good. Your hair don't look nice. This is ugly. That's ugly. You don't, oh, your nose is pudgy. Your nose spread out. I love my nose, right? It's a little wide. That's okay. It's a pudgy nose, but I love my nose. I love my big eyes, right? I love that. And listen, I never wore lashes till my daughter started selling them. And I do it now to promote my daughter lashes. Like, these are my daughter lashes. I candy love Bobby. Anyway,
You better take that spot. You better promote.
I gotta promote my baby, honey. So, but I don't wear makeup every day because I love the skin, my skin complexion. I love who I am as a dark skinned woman. And I don't consider myself a dark skinned woman. I'm saying I'm a black woman. I'm an African American woman. I don't go by skin color, but a lot of people do, right? One of my coworkers had pissed me off one day and said, "You are attractive for a dark skinned girl." What? I said, "No, honey, I'm attractive regardless of my skin color. I don't like that." And this was a black guy, and I was like, "But I want, in my mind, I wanted to straight curse him out, but I was trying to be professional. But I was straight calling him all types of names."
But think of it now. Okay, so I've had conversations with white folks, Asian, African, and I think we get caught up in.
Turn right on Meadowville Technology Parkway.
Hold on, sorry, I gotta turn my
Left lane
GPS down.
closed was
Okay.
reported on I-85. You are on the
Okay.
fastest bridge.
I'm sorry, guys.
Ghetto. Go ahead.
No, it's just the fact that I believe it's titles.
Mhm.
It sucks when you we label. We've been taught to label. We've been taught that the American way is to label something,
Right.
and then we are taught to label something when we're fearful of it or we don't have an understanding.
Mhm.
So from coming to this land, learning to speak English,
Mhm.
it was a label. Like
Right.
I just get it. I think enough to say I try my best. I try. I ain't gonna say I'm because it's been a learned behavior to draw the line.
Right.
They black. I
Mhm.
mean, and then we got it. We actually had that stop saying black. Black is the color that they came up with. Black was horrible. Black sheep. Everything black was taught that it was wrong. Darkness,
Right.
deceitful. It was taught that it was wrong, and everything that was white was right.
Mhm.
It was taught that way. It's taught that way in school. It's subliminally taught through entertainment.
So
So
true.
it's you trying to what we're arguing about or what we're discussing has to deprogram and unlearn
Mhm.
what we've been taught. And then now saying you get into a person where you're saying you want to be to basically learn something all over again, that's fearful. No, that's not gonna happen. I don't got time for that.
Right.
But
And,
we do.
and within our own race, we need to learn.
Oh yes, and I'm sorry. That's
Go ahead.
exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about anybody else
Oh, okay.
because our race is the one that's heavily under attack.
By all of that.
I listen to people say we're behind enemy lines, and then you want to think, well, enemy lines is the system that was put in place to house us. First, like you said, we was brought here for economics. That's all. That's why we was brought here. It wasn't for anything else, but to be a slave. The slave is produced. That's it. And so many people feel like they have gotten like, okay, President Obama. I promise you, if he was any shades darker than what he was, he wouldn't have been president. They were okay with the fair-skinned Negro because they feel like he got some white in him somewhere that they could tolerate looking at him.
Yes.
They wasn't going to tolerate listening to him because he spoke very. That's the most articulate.
He was very articulate,
white or black, or African American, whatever. Anything outside of what was the norm, he was the most articulate president we had.
Yes, President Obama was more articulate. He was
very articulate.
I don't want to say more intelligent, but
no, he was articulate.
He was very articulate of what he wanted to say.
Yeah, it wasn't a bunch of it wasn't a bunch of I don't know, maybe yada yada yada, because and my wife can't stand this. You talk white, you sound white.
Oh, I hate that.
Like a black person. What does that mean?
How does black people supposed to talk?
Even certain, like the stereotypes that are just even placed on us as human beings. That if you were light skinned, you was considered up it.
Yes.
If you was dark skinned, you was considered to not have education. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but those stereotypes, once again, were taught to us by white folks.
Correct. But we adapted it and keep it going within our own culture. And that's where we need to cut it out. Because if we don't stick up and stand up for each other, how do we expect anyone else to stand up and stick up for us? We are, I want to say, the most hated race.
No,
I feel, look, this is why I say this. The reason why I say this, because we're attacked by whites, we're attacked by ourselves, we're attacked by Asians, we're attacked by Latinos, we're attacked by Dominicans, don't feel like Latinos. Dominicans, we are attacked by everyone else, and we attack each other. So if we don't, let's stop looking outside of everybody else and concentrate on ourselves and making us a stronger race, because we need to realize regardless of the skin color that you have, we are still considered Black people, African American people. Bump the African American, we are Americans regardless. Even in our Constitution, we are still not considered full people.
Nope. I hate to correct you, but that was one thing he did. Yep. I looked. Yes, he did.
When did he change it?
Who passed?
Because Obama. The other day, yes, it's still in the Constitution. Did he amend it? Did he make the amendment? What amendment is it?
I don't know, but I know it happened. But I'll find the information and I'll have it to you.
Yvette says, I think we have the most hate within our race. Yvette, we do. And I'm telling you, because I was reading it and I looked at it. It was the 13th Amendment. It was Article 2.5, and it still states that we are considered 3/5 of a person.
On
that was as of 2012. So did he?
Yes, he did.
Who updated it?
Know me. I will find it for you. I said I don't have it right now.
Updated because as of 2012, it should have been updated.
Yeah, it should have been. But you know they're gonna blame on COVID. Go ahead. I'm just playing.
What?
They couldn't get the documentation because of the pandemic. They're gonna make up something. But
what? The reason why I'm asking is because I've been looking into this to make sure it was changed.
And even in that, but the thing of it is, like, you get so many. You talk about we're most hated. We're most hated in our race because we don't understand who we are as a people. That's our fault.
Right.
Now it's our fault, not back then. In the 70s, the 60s, the 30s. I mean,
right. That wasn't our fault.
It was something that was in your face that beat you down with it. But I tell my children all the time, my kids will come and ask me a question. And I'm like, why are you asking me? You got Encyclopedia Britannica, you got a library, you got an almanac, and you got doggone Google. How about you go find out? But that's the thing. But I tell you, everybody can do it for the gram. Everybody can promote their stuff on these social media. They will not use the information for what it is because they don't want to disturb the ignorance. I think, yeah, that's a good way. They do not want to disturb their own ignorance because when you know better, you do better.
True.
When you play dumb and ignorant, you choose to stay where you are and it's okay for you. But the moment you take responsibility and educate yourself, you cannot use that, well, the white man, this, that, and the third. I don't give a doggone.
Let me go back to something. That's another reason within our race, we don't, somebody posted it a while ago. Something about black people get education, something we don't pick up a book. We won't read nothing. We won't research nothing. We want everything given to us. That's why I said you had to tell me where it is because I just looked it up. And it still says the 13th Amendment, we are considered 3/1 person. And that was updated in 2012. And that's from the law2.com. So I don't know if it changed when, because president can't change it. It has to go through the Senate and the Congress. And we have Republican Congress and Senate for the past
20 years.
Since President Obama was in there. So how, I'm just, it's still there. But see, that's where I feel like we have to, as African American people, Black people, Americans, within our own race, we need to research, learn about ourselves. We are beautiful. We come in different shades, sizes, height, short, small, because I'm short. I know I'm short. That's why I wear 5-6 inch heels.
We come from the beginning. I'll say that much. because all these bland different colors you got cannot come from anything but
We all descendants from Africa.
yes. So but however, it's so many different levels of race, colorism. Excuse me, sorry,
Colorism. Mm-hmm.
colorism
Racism,
from
colorism. Mm-hmm.
colorism from the motherland all the way. I mean, it extends around the globe because do you know Africans get offended when you call them African?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they want to be called the country that they're from.
Right. They want to be Nigerians, Kenyans. They do. They really do. I know.
If they from Cambodia, you better call me Cambodian. If they
I
from
have an African client, and he is from.
if they from the
Oh my
Sudan, you better
God,
call
where is he from? He told me this the other day. And Africans don't consider us African. They consider
no, they
us
don't.
African.
They feel like, and the sad part is they don't know until they come over here and learn the history of what was done to us. But the sad part about it is you go into countries in Africa, and what was going on to us in the 1800s is still going on in 2021. So when they get over here, that's why people from Africa, I'll just say that people from Africa, I'm not gonna call them African because we got to do better. When you know better, you do better.
Right.
When they come over here and get engineering jobs and
Doctors, lawyers.
they go and be their education, they hold on to education so tightly and we squander it away. And they look at y'all like you ingrateful niggas because you guys have what I dreamed of having. And I come over here and the sad thing about it is we're the only culture do not take the information that we receive and take it back to the culture.
That's what I said earlier when we have that crab mentality. When you have a crab mentality, you ain't trying to lift each other up. You're steady trying to grab each other down. You're trying to discredit. She has a doctor's degree. Instead of cheering your sister on, you degrading her. Oh, she thinks she's better than everybody. No, 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 no.
But
let me tell you something. I'm not African. I wasn't born in Africa. I was born right here in the United States of America.
But
my
no,
name
that's
is African.
the
Yes, my name is African, but I'm not. Let's understand it.
That's the teachers.
We are African. We are just American. We are descendants of Africans. I have a lot of African friends. That's true. Go ahead, Jasmine. I'm sorry.
We was pinned against each other. We fought. It was entertainment, and the entertainment turned into life-threatening fights just to live. And the whole "you better than me" mentality, you can see it through so many renditions of Black culture through entertainment. But also, they also wanted you to learn it that way so you'll keep it going. Because,
again, that's where we, as Black people, need to step up and start defending our brothers and sisters. If we don't take care of us, if we're not supporting each other, if we're not telling our brother over there, hey man, you messed up today, that was wrong, get it together, without him, and then him not getting mad or cussing you out and want to fight and shoot and all this other stuff, take the constructive criticism. Now, I believe in how you talk to people is how they will receive it. Now, you just can't go in there straight, you can't do that. But if you go with some sense, and the brother, okay, maybe you're right or whatever. Some people are hard-headed. That's how they are. But again, I feel like if we don't take up for each other, we don't start, hey, you're beautiful. Man, you look good today. I don't have no problem telling the sister she look good. She looks, you know what I'm saying? I like what you got on. I'm not hating on nobody. Nobody. But I do have a question for you, Jasmine.
So what else?
Did you ever have self-doubt about yourself being light-skinned, or did you have resentment to anybody because of your light-skinnedness?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I resented Craig for a long time because he was darker than me. And when my aunts talked about me but never talked about him, I'm trying to figure out why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a part of this family too. But then I don't think we all know how to approach each other, because I would try to talk to a girl, oh, you too light skinned. What? Too light skinned? So if I go cook a little bit longer, you holler at me next week. But those are all things that we all deal with. We don't understand rejection, or
Right.
somebody's not interested, because we start to automatically think something is wrong because of what we was taught. And it all stems back to what we was taught. And regardless of what people say, it's different about what you say than what you do.
Are you getting pulled over?
So what now?
I said you was getting pulled over. I'm sorry, look. I just saw
I ain't getting pulled over. I'd have told you back. Don't be messing with them boys like that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just saw the flashing lights.
No. I'm following all guidelines. I'm good on it. But no, it's just, it goes back to you. We have to unteach ourselves. First of all, we have to teach our young black kids they are beautiful, they are intelligent, they can be whatever they want to be. And if anybody tells you different, come see me.
Mm-hmm.
And that not protecting, it's so many different things that broke us down to our last compound, and a way of thinking and way of doing things, because it was survival. So, but it's time out, as you say. It's like, it's time out right now.
I remember, I know at one point I resented like my siblings for a while. Again, it goes back to because I was the darkest skinned one out of everybody, and even my aunt catered to them more and told me she never thought I was going to become anything. I was like, wow, like that just blew my mind. Not saying that it had anything to do with my skin complexion, but I wasn't as bad. I mean, I was bad. Don't get me wrong. I was not a good child at all at some aspects of it. But for you to say you don't think I was going to amount to anything, I'm not going to be anything. But I have a brother that got kicked out of school. It's just a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I felt really like that. They must think that I'm really a bad person, an ugly person because I'm dark skinned. I really thought that. And I think it was recently that we had a long talk about that. And it wasn't that. Again, I was fast. So whatever. I just feel that nowadays in this society, with so much of social media, television, even the records that are being played on the radio, it's a lot of colorism in our race. We see like people cater to Beyonce, but don't look at what's her name? Jennifer Hudson or Jasmine Sullivan or Fantasia. Now, don't get me wrong, Beyonce is one heck of a performer, but these women can really, really sing, right? But I feel, some people feel like because she's a lighter skin, it's a better look. You can promote that more. You can, than a darker skin. It's just, this is what our children are growing up with. I really hate social media sometimes because you have a lot of keyboard gangsters, and a boy killed himself because he was being bullied because he was dark skinned.
So now you're going into top to bottom, oldest to youngest. Our community needs a heavy dose of mental health overall.
Yes.
And because of these things of colorism, We title we put titles on ourselves before we even old enough to develop.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So colorism is still a side effect of the root problem, but it's not the root of what's going on.
Oh, most definitely.
So we could educate and talk about
But
colorism.
how can we get past this? Do you know?
Oh, I'm sure enough for myself because I love Jasmine,
Right.
but I didn't understand what the love of Jasmine was until I learned the love of Christ. That's my opinion. If you don't agree, I get it. I'm not talking about you, but I don't. You can't tell me you love me and you don't understand the sacrifice of God.
Hmm.
That's love. That's love unconditional. Love unequivocal. It's not. It has no stipulations on it, but to love me back. That's it. But if you don't understand, you think about when somebody said you light skinned and it does something to you, it's because you don't love yourself to know it don't matter what they say. I could be pink. But if I love me, it doesn't matter what they say.
But this is where the issue is too, because a lot of people within our race, they say they love themselves, but they don't love themselves, and they feel like putting somebody down is showing how big and bad and how they really respect themselves and stuff. Is you can't love yourself and not love your neighbor, and that goes back to what you said.
Exactly.
How can you love me? You don't love yourself. You don't love Christ, so you can't love me. But you can't put me down because you don't love yourself. Now, I used to be, oh my gosh, I used to hate myself. I didn't like myself for a long time. But now that I've learned, and look, listen here, people, there's nothing wrong with going to seek counseling. I'm going to throw that nugget in there too. There's nothing wrong with going to get some help. Once I started going counseling, praying, reading my word, talking to the Lord, and understanding who Yomi is as a person, as a woman, then I can say I love me and I love everybody else. I may not like you, but I love you.
And and I'm glad you said like. Loving on the level of loving yourself comes with maturity.
Mm-hmm.
Because for years, when I was in my early 20s, my late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, I thought if I didn't like you, that meant I didn't love you also.
Mm.
It's right now, it's so many people I love, but I don't like what they do.
Right.
I mean, regardless of, but like I said, I don't have a hell or heaven to put you in. But that don't mean I have to stop loving you, because that's the issue. We don't love ourselves as a culture. We're the only culture that celebrates every other culture's. You can't get black folks to talk about, can't even quote nothing in February. But March come around, oh, they say Pat, is they green all day.
Yep.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo, you the taco eat somebody. But you will not love your own people to celebrate the whole 28 days.
And the shortest month out the year. This is why I do a Did You Know in Black History, because I want us to know that we have contributed a lot to Black history. We have done a lot to contribute to this country. So just know we are a beautiful culture. We are a beautiful race. We are a smart race. But we need to get out of that mentality that just because you're dark skinned, you ain't good. Just because you light skinned, you better. If you're in between, you don't know what you are. We are a race that we need to be able to educate ourselves, get ourselves better, and to love each other. Now, listen, colorism just doesn't stop with us. colorism is in other races, but it's not as
Oh
bad
yeah,
as it is.
but no, it's not as bad because excuse me, we're the only people to get to the job and won't help each other.
Bang.
White folks help each other up the pole all the time, but soon as if me and you working together, it's in the military, it's in McDonald's, it's at corporate America, it's at stock exchange, it's everywhere that we will not help each other go up that ladder.
Nope.
And the sad part is, it's not just the fact that we won't help nobody go up the ladder. We won't help nobody come up the ladder when we get what we get. It's both ways. It's not just I'm hating on you because I'm getting promoted, but dang, teach me how to get promoted too. If I don't know something, oh, we are some hoard information people. I can't stand it. I share everything I can possibly find. If it's something that's going to help your family or better your community, I am going to share it. Now, what you do with it is on you.
Yep. Yes. What you do with it is gonna be on you.
But I'm not going to sit here and say I don't want Yomi to if we're in the same work field. Oh, I don't. We going for this promotion. No, but then as people, we have to stop waiting for Black folks to get into a position so we can start being lazy.
Oh, amen.
And that's just, I mean,
You better
I don't know if that's a light skin thing. And then this whole cultural thing of you acting light skinned. I'm so tired of that. You know how many arguments I've been in and found out that I wasn't light skinned. They was talking about, like, what do you mean? How do you have a whole you laughing? How do you have a whole
you froze a little bit.
origin of how somebody acts light skinned? So okay, so
how you act white.
If I'm acting light skinned, it's so no, but you act light skinned, you sensitive, like Prince and Michael Jackson. They like you stare in the mirror longer than your girl do. That's acting light skinned. I found that out on Christmas. Don't mind me. I was just in a conversation and I was talking to my wife and they was like, Jazz, you don't like light skin. I'm like, what do you mean? But then I started thinking about it as growing up. I was the lightest one in all my groups.
Mm-hmm.
I hung around for majority of the brown skinned people. As we say. I was the lightest one in the group. Think about it. If you look at me, Nada, Twan, Marcel, and everybody, who's the lightest one?
You.
Me. So I was told I didn't act light skinned. I acted like, so you telling me I'm a nigga because I'm not acting light skinned? So what is the acting dark skinned now? So we draw so many lines for no reason.
Correct.
Because ignorant is in every color of the spectrum.
Everyone. I done seen some ignorant
Asian folks. I done seen some ignorant white folks. I done seen ignorant black folks. I done seen ignorant Hawaiians. And people are like, oh wow. But I'm dead serious. It's ignorance. If you are in this body of flesh, born into sin, shaped in iniquity, oh, you got an ignorance spot in there somewhere. So I get the colorism, but like you said, it's learned behavior. It was taught for a reason, but people have got so comfortable in doing it that they don't want to change.
But until we change ourselves, we're still going to be fighting this battle for years and years to come. And we got to cut them generational curses. We got to cut them out. We got to stop this. Because let me tell you something. Us black folks, Americans, there's a whole lot of us out here. That's why they're picking us off one by one. Until we stand together in unity, not just when somebody's getting shot up or killed by the police, but in unity, helping our sister and brother up, helping them study for a test, helping them supporting their businesses. Let me tell you something, and then I'm gonna have to close this show because we almost at our time.
Okay.
Black people irritate my soul, and I'm gonna tell you why. You would rather sit up here and support another race's business
Gucci,
pay more
Louis,
black business and want to hook up. Come on now.
all these different plays. I support black businesses, but in supporting black businesses, I need black folks to give top-notch business like these other businesses do. If you gonna learn and try to compete, you go above and beyond. Stop looking. I don't ask for hookups when I deal within my community.
Right.
I give you top dollar. I happen to mess out somebody else though, but I'll give you top dollar and I'll tip you.
Right.
But no, you ain't got to do that. If I take care of you on the front end, I ain't got to take care of you on the back end.
Exactly. But that's the issue that people have is like, I'm an example. Everyone knows I have a cleaning business. I love cleaning. Cleaning is my therapy. And I went and a black chick went to her house, looked at it, quoted her a price. Now, first of all, the house was horrible, right? You want me to do inside and outside, windows, baseboards, wipe the walls down so you can paint, ceiling fans, everything. I give you a quote. Mind you, I know you're not working right now, so I even took off a little bit, and you still say that was too high. But went and got, and I know this because I asked the person she went to next, got a white person to clean her house, and they quoted her higher than me, and she was willing to pay it. That is ridiculous. I'm not gonna pay you. You got a whole house, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be out there sweating and busting my butt and cleaning and scrubbing and all this other stuff for $150. No, I'm not gonna do it. I can't give you that hookup, right?
I call it the school days mindset. You remember the movie
School Days? Yes, that's a show enough colorism show.
That is the epitome of what you're talking about.
That's right.
That was shot in 19.
It was in
80 something.
88, maybe I think it was.
Yeah, 88 or 86, 88.
Learn behavior.
Still dealing with the same issues in 2021.
Yes. That show, School Days. If y'all have never seen School Days, you have to watch that show, that movie.
That's colorism,
because that shows colorism at one of the highest points, and it's still going on today. Yep. We have a long way to go. We have come a long way in certain areas, but we have a long, long way to go. And it all starts with us, and we need to figure out what are we as this African American culture, Black culture, whatever you want to call it, can do, and learn to love our culture and help each other grow and learn and educate ourselves on a lot of things that's going on in this world. Don't think just because one person's lighter, darker, or in between is better than the other, because we all, to any other person besides our own race, we are nobody to them. But we need to be somebody to each other. And before I go, Andy said, here's my issue with Black businesses. Every salon I go in is junky. Every restaurant I go in is filthy. There is no hospitality. There are terrible at customer service. It's hard to support Black businesses because of the terrible service, but I try. I never ask for a discount. I also treat me like a customer, not your friend. I treat all my customers the same, right? Only problem is that like one customer, I'm still cleaning her home almost every day. Well, I took a break because I needed a break from it. She's a Black lady. She's really sweet. But then I have a white client that has the Airbnb, and She thinks I'm supposed to be at her call at 10, 11 o'clock at night. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I clock out at 6 p.m. I cannot answer your call that time of night. Anyway, like I stated before, we have a long way to go. We still need to learn from each other. But how can we learn from each other if we don't respect each other enough to listen, to communicate? So I thank you all for listening to me and Jasmine while he's on his road driving to God knows where. Please be safe.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Huh?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Well, North Kakalaki. Be safe. I want you all to have a good night. And thank you for listening. I'll talk to you later. We're going to talk about colorism, but we're going to talk about colorism within the white community next week. Y'all didn't think it was a thing, but it is a thing. It's crazy, but it is a thing. So again, thank you for listening, and y'all have a great night. Thanks, Jasmine. Be safe.
Oh,